Coming up on this episode of Heal Squad, what is the biggest misconception about acupuncture?
That it's a pseudoscience. It's its own medicine in itself. It's internal medicine. And that also it only helps pain. Acupuncture isn't just for pain. It helps all aspects of the body. When you can treat something sooner than later, it really helps the body.
And it can be preventative.
Prevention is the strength of Chinese medicine, catching things before they happen or in their early stages.
It's helping bring your body into balance. So if it's something you're regularly doing, you can keep your body in balance. And then if it's not out of balance, you won't have issues. Hello, Heal Squad. We've got a great episode for you today. If you've ever wondered how acupuncture really works, today I am talking to someone I've personally worked with and absolutely love, Anthony DiSalvo. He is a California board certified acupuncturist, traditional Chinese medicine physician who trained under a master whose lineage goes back 21 generations. And here's the thing to remember, guys. Acupuncture isn't new age. It's over 5,000 years old and one of the oldest healing systems in the world. And today, Anthony's breaking down how it helps everything from vertigo, one of my pain points recently, but also things like stress, another pain point, and even nausea, and so much more, and how something as simple as breath work we can do will help slow healing to the parts that we need to treat. But before we dive into that, our quote of the day. Every thought you have, every choice you make has this grand ripple effect in ways that you can't perceive. And that is from one of my favorite authors, Laura Lynn Jackson. All right, guys, let's get into acupuncture with Anthony. Before we get in, I want to just share with everyone in the Heal Squad, because if you have been listening, you know I've spoken about Anthony a little bit here and there, because acupuncture has been something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I couldn't find anybody that did it. I had one person that did it for me, and then she got so busy and was not in town a lot, and I couldn't find anybody. And I just knew I really needed it, and I kept trying. And then Rebecca Zamola was on the show. If you guys don't remember her episode, she's a famous YouTuber who went through a hell of a journey with her health. And she gave a lot of credit to Anthony for helping her in that healing journey and said, Marie, you got to try it. So I went, and it was like instant results, just like I remember when my dad went to someone great. You know, it really is just like anything else. You have to go to someone great. And I had an incredible experience. I've then sent everyone and anyone that tells me they have a pain, I'm like, well, go see Anthony. He fixes stuff really fast. So yes, I did experience vertigo recently. So maybe we start with a vertigo point, because I definitely would love that assistance.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on the show, Maria. It's nice to be able to share what I know with everyone out there, because y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve to know more about how to help yourselves. And I'm glad that that's what you do here.
Yeah, it definitely speaks to the mission of being the CEO of your health. And when you see how easy it can be sometimes, like you taught me the constipation points, you taught me so many different points that have just magically released things. Like I had stiff legs, I had the bowel issues, I've had so many different things, even dry lips. All of these points that you've taught me have made a magical difference in all of it. It was kind of remarkable to see. So, you know, if you are listening for the first time, or if you've been listening forever, acupuncture might just be the secret that you've needed all this time. But yeah, let's start with my pain point I'm currently dealing with, and then we're going to move into stress and chronic pain and stomach issues and even pink eye and things for kids. But we'll run the gamut of stuff today.
All right. Well, you know, vertigo has many different reasons behind it. And in general, so like, you know, that point I told you for on your hand that helps with your dry lips?
Yeah.
Well, it helps with dry lips for the same reason it can support vertigo, because it brings energy to the face and neck. So that's why that works that way.
So if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, continue listening, but then go back to YouTube so you can watch this, because he's going to physically show you points, like I said, that are going to be magical. So like the way I find this point originally is I went down the side of my index finger, along the bone of my index finger, all the way into the hole in between my thumb and my
Yeah, that
index
triangle
finger,
area, that
the
web.
triangle,
Mhm.
and you get where it hurts,
Yeah,
right?
it's the famous point. A lot of people know it as for headaches, right? It's large intestine 4. And basically, it's for pain in the body in general. That's why it's well known for headaches, but not all headaches can benefit from it because that depends where it presents. Nevertheless, it's there on the hand and you can push on it right now. Is it painful for you, Maria?
So it's funny when I push right in the middle, not as much, but when I push more on the side that is towards the index
Mm-hmm.
finger, it's
Yeah.
very painful.
Yeah, that's also something that can work because there's different aspects of the point that can be addressed. And every body's a little bit different, but the points in these general regions, and same with the other side. So you push on the right side, you push on the left side.
And what you do on one, you have to do in the other, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's pathways and meridians on both sides of the body.
I
The
feel
thing
like
is
flushing coming down.
yes, there you go. The other thing I'd like you to do, this is when we have this here on the lips, right here above your lip, between your nose and your lip in the center. If you push on this, you'll feel an indentation. Push on that. What do you notice if you take a breath now?
Like above the tooth gum.
That's right, just in the gum area.
I mean, it hurts.
Yeah, it's not supposed to hurt.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
none of these acupressure points are supposed to hurt. If they do, it's information from your body. There's imbalance
Okay.
because you're not causing trauma. So
Because
what do you notice? What do you notice when you do this right now?
I'm
That's the
feeling
important.
like almost like a little lightheaded.
Okay, yeah, you're moving some energy that's been stuck. You take a breath, deep breath. There you go. And then the next thing I like you to do, because this is the area for the brain, the top of your earlobe, that little notch, find it and pinch it. I've shown you before, but it's part of auricular acupressure.
This one right here, right?
Yeah, right on the top of the earlobe, that notch. Is that sensitive when you push on it? You can do both sides.
Yeah, both. I think the right side more,
Yeah, so then concentrate on the right side.
but I was presenting on left side vertigo.
No problem. And what do you notice now? You still feel lightheaded?
No.
Good. You're balancing. See,
Hmm.
the body is complex, so it does take multiple points in order to keep supporting these aspects in your system. Now, vertigo is considered wind in Chinese medicine. So what happens in nature happens in us, and that's how we translate it. But yeah, it could be dizziness, vertigo, spinning, and there's wind points on the back of your occiput here. So this is the last thing I just want to show you. So this is on a gallbladder channel, bladder as well here on the notch of the base of your occiput. So not where your cervical spine is, but just slightly to the side. Do you find it tender? And you're going to want to go under the ridge of it, not the muscle, but not on top of the bone, but under the bone. So that's why I usually tell people to use your thumb. It's kind of ergonomic, and you just go in and find the indentation and the sensitive spot, and you massage it. And whatever you do one side, you do the other. This is very
I
helpful.
can't figure out if it's under there or
no. So the ridge of your skull bone. So if this is like your skull bone, or how do I explain it? So
yeah, it's sensitive.
yeah, so that's something you're gonna want to take care of throughout the day.
So all these points you can be doing throughout the day.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Take a breath.
It
How do you feel though?
feels good.
Okay. Last thing, this is a little bit of energy work. The body communication that I've taught you before,
Yeah.
this is just to help anchor things. So you can say out loud to yourself, body, show me
Body.
what it feels like
Show me what it feels like.
to anchor my yang energy now.
Anchor my young energy now.
And breathe. What do you notice?
Ooh, I felt like something lift up here above me. Like it lifted from here up.
And how are your sensibilities as you look around the room? Do you still feel as strong of that uneasiness? Do you feel more stable now and grounded?
Yeah, I do.
And make
As
sure you're
usual, I
feeling
find
good
it
for the
so
talk,
odd.
you know?
What?
You got to make sure you're feeling good for our talk.
I know. I mean, it's kind of it's so amazing to me that it can be that easy. Because I do like there's something about me that feels stronger right now.
Good. And that's the way it should be. Things are always in flux, right? Things can go out of balance and back to balance, right? This is talked about in the Tao, the middle way, right? So things can change. And it's about what tools can you do and apply for yourself that bring you back to balance as best as possible.
Yeah,
Because there's
what
all
does Chinese medicine say is the root of vertigo?
There's many different etiologies, but vertigo is still classified as internal wind, and that could be internal wind due to, say, blood deficiencies or excess conditions because of viral activity. But we also know in Western medicine, crystals can go out of place, things like this. But then there's also unknown causes in Western medicine, idiopathic. However, it's still considered wind. And I know it's a concept that doesn't always translate so well into Western medicine, but nevertheless, we still have different presentations for everyone. So each person needs to be treated specifically and individually, not just, hey, you have vertigo, and we'll give you a certain medication for it. That's just for all vertigo types. So
So you said blood imbalances, and they did tell me that I was very anemic.
yes. So this anemia is a cause for internal wind. That could be spasms in the body, muscle spasms, little dizziness. People, it can affect blood pressure. So you get out of bed, you feel dizzy, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've never had it before. It was not exciting to have one more thing to deal with, that's for sure. But it definitely gave me an incredible empathy for people because when you don't know up from down and left from right, like
Hmm.
I did that day, it is terrifying.
It is. And imagine if you're pregnant as well, because pregnant women, they can't take medications for vertigo a lot of the times because of dangers to the fetus. Acupuncture is very helpful for that and safe. It can knock
Wow.
out vertigo sometimes in one treatment, two treatments, or several treatments, depending on the person's needs.
It makes me wonder, have you had success with Bell's palsy as well?
Oh, all the time. Bell's palsy, when treated right away, is resolved very quickly. That's when it's an external condition. When it's an internal condition due to another blood issue, it takes a little longer. But we use a lot of herbal formulas for this too. So
Wow.
yes, Bell's palsy is well known for being, highly treatable with Chinese medicine.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, acupuncture has been around a long time, and I feel like I've seen it, do wonderful things, but there are people who are scared of
Yeah.
needles. Is there a way around that?
There's always a way around it. One of the things that I share, because I work a lot with patients who do have needle phobias, medical traumas, PTSDs, feeling safe is so important, right? When someone has a needle phobia, I always try to bring awareness around it for someone in the first steps because needle phobia comes from a trauma in the past. And it could be as innocuous as when they're a baby, we were maybe not comforted as well when we got a shot, or, it was very painful, and the body remembers that, and also the spirit and the mind. So those things, as simple as that, when we're kids, babies, still have their lingering effect, right? So there's some kind of fear to a nerve stimulation that represents pain. And so I work with clients to help them understand what that is. And if we can actually get to that, it shifts. So I do have patients who start out with certain needle phobias towards the certain amount of treatments with, like, say, acupressure, which they can tolerate, or herbs that they can tolerate as options. Eventually, they're okay to tolerate needles. But
Wow.
everyone's different. If they are open and ready in their journey to face that trauma, to accept it and to evolve
Mhm.
from it, then amazing things happen from
But also, you can do the points like you've taught me
there.
throughout your days that help
Absolutely.
you. but maybe just not as effective as or as quickly as needles.
Yes and no. Let me point that out. Acupressure is very effective, just as effective as acupuncture, and sometimes can be even more so depending on the condition. And the reason why is you can treat something right away with acupressure as opposed to waiting for an appointment to go get acupuncture. You can't walk around with needles in your body all day long,
Mm.
but you can continue to give acupressure to parts of your system constantly throughout the day. Therefore, you're continuing to give your body commands to send resources to whatever area of the body it needs: your head, your liver, your heart, your lungs, your lower back.
Yeah.
And this allows for continuous stimulation, very targeted stimulation, in fact, right? Because your body is working 24 hours, 24/7. So its resources are constantly diverted for function and also repair and healing. The body has the most miraculous system for healing itself. These are just specific commands to divert energy and resources to focus on the areas that need more healing.
So, will you explain to everyone Chinese medicine?
Sure, no problem. So TCM, or what as it's called, traditional Chinese medicine, right? It originated in China. This is well over 3,000 years ago. And it is a complete medicine in itself, right? And it has pillars, 5 pillars of it, right? We have nutrition and exercise. We have acupressure, we have acupuncture, and we have herbal medicine. This is what encompasses Chinese medicine. And there's also branches of this, like Asian medicine, that you find in Korea or Japan, right? But still, this aspect of this holistic form of medicine. And acupuncture is just the name we associate it with, and that's what's been termed here in America to represent Chinese medicine. In fact, it's just one part to describe it. So, this is how they help the body. This understanding that the mind and body have a connection, and the spirit has a connection with that too. And the mind affects the body, and the body affects the mind. And of course, the environment affects the mind and the body. So it's figuring out how to live in accord with the environment, the rhythms of nature and whatnot, and then apply that in our own system. A challenge these days now in our modern society. So nevertheless, we're able to incorporate this into daily living to benefit the most, for ourselves and our family. But that's traditional Chinese medicine. He's using all these different modalities to help the body.
And what is qi and all of that?
Okay. Qi has no, it is a type of energy, but it has no direct translation into English, which is, I find fascinating. So the closest thing is the term from Star Wars, the Force. It's a type of force. And this force is what holds organs in place. It's what moves blood. It's what delivers electrical, conduction through the body, these kind of things. And it's also the same thing of, like, you can say prana or ki or these other ideas of when people have energy work, where they're using their chi to influence the chi of someone else. And it's just this type of energy. And they go hand in hand, chi and blood in the body. Chi moves blood. So that's why, good example would, when you put your thought to something in your body, your mind moves the chi moves the blood.
Wait, we have to unpack that. That's a lot. That means we can instruct our bodies.
Absolutely. And so I like to explain a lot to my clients, when they learn breathing and meditation, and they're taught sometimes that you breathe and you're like, okay, you're instructed, okay, breathe into your back, breathe into your diaphragm, breathe down into your legs and your fingers, right? You can kind of like use this guided aspect. So technically that's not happening, right? Your breath goes into your lungs, it creates gas exchange, oxygenation, retrieval, excretion, and then that oxygenated blood is pumped from the heart through the rest of the body. That's really what's going on. However, from a Chinese medicine standpoint, that practice is getting you to focus your energy to then direct more of that energy flow and blood flow to those areas, such as your legs, your chest, your headache that's happening during your meditation. And that's what we understand is what is actually going on.
So if I'm taking a breath, it's good for me to focus on it going down to my legs.
Well, that's if you have leg pain. It depends on where you want to keep your intention.
Okay. But if you have back pain, let's say, you
There you
would
go.
say, you know, breath. I mean, how would you do it? You tell me.
Well, you're just thinking about your back. It's as simple as that. I have pain in my back. You can just acknowledge that you have pain down there and that you're bringing your mind and awareness to your lower back, which brings your energy down to that area. After that, there's also back points on your, for acupressure that help even further.
That's why they say where focus goes, energy flows.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. So we could be focusing on that, which is great. Um, there are a lot of really common issues that acupuncture is just magical for. I know there's more intricate stuff too, but a lot of people deal with kind of chronic pain, chronic fatigue. What are some acupressure points perhaps that someone can use for that?
Well, so it's such a broad topic. It's literally any acupuncture point that is relevant for the pain. So it's really a matter of learning what helps the
Excuse
most.
me, I can't stop yawning.
No, that's good. You're actually releasing energy from what we did earlier.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't normally do this,
That's positive.
but I don't normally do acupressure points to start an interview. So,
Well, basically, you know, I can give you an example of some of the things because we're going to talk about them a little later, like some of the online courses that I have to teach
mhm.
parents, right? One example is helping your child, your infant who has colic or constipation or really bad gas, and they're crying constantly. There's acupressure points on their body, on their belly, on their hands, on their legs. That just ceases the issue of colic in the majority of cases, because other times it can be a physical obstruction because of growth and development. Nevertheless, it calms the babies because it's activating points for their digestion, calming their liver because of all of this, the pain and the screaming because they're in pain, and that helps calm inflammation and soothe their system, and it helps move the intestines, helps warm their body, and this allows them to be able to go when they haven't been able to.
I remember when Athena was little, I would I don't remember what they were now on her feet, but I would do her digestion points. Any issue she had, I would look up and do those points.
Yeah, that's great. That's probably from reflexology, right? Part of Chinese medicine, learning what points are on the foot for what particular organ.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, to explain a little bit, because I'd like to make it so simple and clear for everyone, is that acupressure and acupuncture are one and the same. You're touching points that we use in acupuncture. And what's really going on is it's a nerve signal from that point to a particular part of the body. So it goes from that point, goes to the brain, and relays the command to the brain, from the brain to that part of the body to create a function, right? To move qi in blood or to reduce swellings and accumulations, whatever the body needs. And particular points do particular functions. And that's what they've really identified very scientifically in Chinese medicine. And so you're leveraging that. And it's not magic. It feels like it sometimes, but you're literally just asking your body to do a specific task
By touching those points.
by touching those points. Yes.
What is the biggest misconception about acupuncture?
I'd have to say that it's a pseudoscience. That's
Mm,
probably the biggest misconception, and basically it's its own medicine in itself. It's internal medicine. I mean, there's many integrated hospitals in China, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and we're having some of that start to slowly come into our country. But that is a big misconception. And that also, it only helps pain. Acupuncture isn't just for pain. That's just what got accepted into our culture and into our insurance system here. It's much more. It helps all aspects of the body. And the biggest thing is when you can treat something sooner than later, it really helps the body.
And it can be
Prevention.
preventative.
Prevention is the strength of Chinese medicine, catching things before they happen or in their early stages. That's
Yeah,
why.
because I feel like from what I've known is it's helping bring your body into balance. So if it's something you're regularly doing, you can keep your body in balance. And then if it's not out of balance, you won't have issues. Right?
For the most part, correct. As long as you're still maintaining and taking care of yourself, your body can function normally without the issues. But life has its wonderful roller coasters and surprises. So
Yeah. So let's break down some common ailments and see if we can give people some acupressure points that will give them relief today.
sure. Well, a big common one is stress, right? Stress and anxiety, those
What's
kind of
that?
things.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, one of the helpful things, and it probably is easy to do here on this on the talk, is to show on the hand points for stress, right? And these are points that relate to the heart and the pericardium. The pericardium being the thin protective layer around the heart. And in Chinese medicine, it has its own meridian system. It has its own set of pathologies and symptom presentations separate from the heart. And interestingly enough, the theory around it is the pericardium protecting the heart protects us and absorbs the day-to-day stressors of things so it doesn't go afflicting the heart so much. So that's like usually the first place that is sensitive in people when they're feeling stress. Unless it's really chronic, it can affect both the pericardium and the heart. So very simply, you have 2 points in the middle of your palm. Oddly enough, I'll do my best to demonstrate where your pinky and middle finger, if you make a little fist, light fist, where your pinky and middle finger touch your palm, in between the bones in the soft spot, that's where those 2 points are. The one closest to the pinky follows the heart meridian. The one closest to the center of the middle finger is the pericardium. And these are points to clear heat in the body, to clear heat in the heart, which comes from constant vexation, stress, right? This creates this aspect of heat. If it's sensitive, that's your sign to give yourself a little TLC, right?
Wow, that's such an easy thing to do because mine is very, very sensitive.
Yes.
That's how you know, guys, when you push these points, if it hurts, that's where you got to push and hold.
And you're not hurting yourself. That's very important to understand. The point sensitivity changes as you improve. As you improve the condition by taking care of it and stimulating it, it actually calms down to a point where it doesn't hurt at all. You're just pushing on yourself.
And then what you have to always remember is what you do to one side, you do to the other.
Yes. So you have these 2 heart points, and then you also have another one that's here. I'm going to come around. That's 3 fingers from the wrist crease, right in the center here, pericardium 6. And this one's very famous point for nausea. You have those bands with the buttons on them people take for flying. Well, you don't need the bands. You can actually just do it with your finger.
Ooh, I have a little spot right here.
Yeah. And so that's also for the heart.
Right
It also
here.
helps the chest. Oh, that's a little higher.
It's a little higher.
So 3 fingers distance from your wrist crease down to here.
Oh,
Then you
yeah.
breathe.
It's all sensitive. That
Yeah.
one. What's above it? That was sensitive.
It's also part of the pericardium channel. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's a matter of going between and massaging back and forth. And the other thing I like to share, everyone, is go back to this point here, the large intestine 4, when you do all of these points, because this is a big chi mover in the body. I talked about chi earlier, moving blood. This helps activate these points further. It's like an enhancer. So you stimulate between the 3 points of the heart pericardium points on the palm and the wrist, and then you can go back and do the one on the web of the hand between the thumb and index finger, and then you just cycle back and forth. And whatever you do to one side, you do the other. So right hand now, I was doing my left before. You go back to the right and you push on them. And then you can take a breath, let it release. So I like to call this a practicing aspect of mindfulness. You're being mindful of how your state of mind is and how your body is, and then that you're going to go do something about it, because that's the true understanding of mindfulness, is awareness plus an action.
I like that. I think we usually look at mindfulness without the action.
That got lost in translation, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, Heal Squad, we're going to leave it right here. We'll be back tomorrow with more from Anthony. He's going to tell us how acupuncture helps things like fevers in kids and allergies and constipation and so much more. He's also showing us what to do with some live demos. Yep, that's tomorrow, friends. In the meantime, be nice people, make good choices, and be present. Hey, Heal Squad, we have been on quite the journey together, and we're hearing from so many of you just how much this show is helping you heal and get better, and it makes us feel so good. We love, love, love it, and we just ask that you don't keep it to yourself. Spread the message and share the show or your favorite episode with your friends. And if you want to help us even more, you can leave us a 5-star rating and a comment on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and follow us on Instagram at Heal Squad. You can also DM us anytime because we love connecting with you. And finally, you can also join us on Patreon for our monthly live heal events with world-class healers and ad-free episodes exclusive only to Patreon and our Super Heal Squad for as little as $10 a month. So go to patreon.com/Heal Squad to join. Getting better isn't easy, friends, but as I say all the time, it's a whole lot easier if we can do it together. We love you all so much, and we love doing this thing called life with you.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.